Bungie put two playlists on hiatus with the launch of Edge of Fate. And since we've seen what this hiatus has done to one of these playlists, I think it's time that we talk about what it might do to the second one. Let's start from the beginning. Iron Banner was put on hiatus after the launch of Edge of Fate on July 15th. They said so right here. Iron Banner will be on hiatus for a time. After centuries of nonstop work, Saladin will be taking a well-deserved break and will return with his PvP game mode to the tower in September when the Ash and Iron Major update arrives. Now, he took his hiatus, he came back, and he only brought us one new weapon that technically has bugged years-old stats. And along with that, they tried to pawn on us a 7-year-old armor set that was reskinned and revamped with the new system, to which, of course, they failed, and we as a community had them revert that, which has drawn a lot of questions from the community, both about Iron Banner and Gambit. And the reason why is because if this is what the hiatus did for Iron Banner, it's not looking good for Gambit. All right, Gambit is already one of the most criticized playlists in Destiny 2. And to be fair, Gambit can be fun for short doses of time, but I just find that when I spend hours and hours in the playlist, its flaws and the mechanics that are designed around it just are not interesting to me. And I'm not the only one. Recently, we reported that Gambit is actually currently having about 1,000 players on average globally, which is ridiculously low in terms of population. So not a lot of people are playing it, right? And to be fair, they obviously haven't updated it. It's on hiatus. It's not a part of the portal. So I'm surprised there's even 1,000 people in the playlist, period, right? Like, what are you even doing if you're playing Gambit right now? Are you really gilding Dredgen in this day and age? If you are, in fact, playing the Gambit playlist right now, you may need to seek medical help. Or honestly, you might be too far gone. But that's beside the point. Gambit left as well with the Edge of Fate. They issued this article on June 12th of this year, and it says Gambit has always been a PvE VP game mode with a loyal fan base and a lot of, let's say, funny anecdotes from eccentric Uncle Drifter. And while it may be true there is a loyal fan base, every time I pull out the punches against Gambit, people jump in the comment section and say, hey, Lucky, I actually enjoy Gambit. And to be fair, if you do really enjoy Gambit, more power to you. I wish I could share in that joy with you. And maybe I will be able to after this revamp goes live, but likely not after what we've seen Bungie do with Iron Banner, right? As the Edge of Fate approaches, we wanted to share with you all that Gambit will also be taking a form of hiatus, right? We just talked about Iron Banner and its hiatus, and now they go directly into Gambit and its form of hiatus. Players will still be able to play the activity and earn legacy rewards for transmog purposes, and the activity will live under the Worlds tab as it does now. If there is any specific gear you're looking for, Drifter will still be able to focus them as a vendor. This is not the end of Gambit, though. Besides continuing to support the mode for legacy rewards and triumphs, we have plans to bring the spotlight back to Gambit in the future with updated rewards and mechanics. That's a really interesting one that players haven't seen since the days of Prime. Wow. Now, to be fair, that is a much more bold statement than what they said in regards to Iron Banner. They didn't say that they were bringing back Iron Banner with some improved playlist or mechanics or things like that. So maybe people got a little too ahead of themselves and were kind of hoping for more. I mean, I guess the entire update was called Ash and Iron. So we were thinking, if the whole update is called Ash and Iron, then, surely Iron Banner is going to be popping, right? Unfortunately, no. But Gambit, however, looks like it will have updated rewards. Change to mechanics is actually crazy. And comparing it to Gambit Prime, if you don't remember, Gambit Prime was like a more hardcore version of Gambit back in the day, where you had to put on like a full armor set and you had a very unique identity. Like there was an invader armor set, and if you put on all of those armor pieces, you got like a bunch of boosts. I think if you were the invader, you got like a crazy overshield. And there was like 4 different characters that you could play. It was like Invader, Collector, Sentry, something. I forget what it is. Someone in the chat will know. If you're an OG that played Gambit Prime, feel free to comment down below the 4 different sets. But basically, the 4 different sets created different identities that people would do. One person would invade, right? Another person would like collect all of the motes, and they could collect more than the cap, which is like 15 right now. They could collect like 20 motes, so they could bank like a massive amount. Another guy would like stay on the deposit spot and particularly protect it. So everyone had their own like role in the playlist, and a lot of people liked Gambit Prime for a very short period of time. This was kind of during the dark ages of Destiny. People were still reeling from the rough year 1 start of Destiny 2. And a lot of people were disliking the direction of Gambit in general, myself included. And so when Bungie doubled down with Gambit Prime, people decided to, basically make that the focal point of all of their hate. And honestly, if we're talking right now, if Bungie does announce that they're bringing Gambit back during what is right now the worst reception of any Destiny DLC ever, that could literally be the death of the game right now. Right now, we're at 7%. It went down from 8% even. We're at 7% positive reviews in the last 30 days. It just keeps getting lower, right? If Bungie says, hey guys, don't worry, we've been cooking, all right? Gambit's coming back. This 7% is going to go to 0%. And if they talk about their updated rewards, and we're talking about one new weapon, and then a bunch of just regular Edge of Fate weapons being thrown in there, people are going to be mad. People are going to be rioting. Bungie has yet to announce an exact date of Gambit, when it's going to return to Edge of Fate, but we do know that it is very soon. It's going to be on the roadmap that they're revealing very shortly here. And I'm telling you right now, given the current climate in Destiny 2, this is going to piss some people off unless it actually delivers in a big way. And honestly, considering Gambit's long history of hatred from the Destiny 2 community, I don't know if Gambit can possibly be a W for Bungie. I know that the very small group of loyal fan base that do actually enjoy Gambit, they will celebrate, they will have fun with whatever they do with the playlist. Like, if they just brought the tier 5 weapon and armor to Gambit, people would be happy, like the small fan base that does enjoy this. But that's not enough to appease the larger audience, right? The real key here is what exact mechanical changes are they bringing to Gambit? Because as it stands right now, I think one of the biggest pain points that people have had with Gambit is you invade and you shoot people in the back when they're like clearing ads and like shooting a boss. It's not very competitive, right? You also have like a ton of power ammo, which leads to people running around with, Gallahorn and Xenophage. And there's always been like weird, bizarre metas in Gambit because you can invade and you shoot people while they're doing another objective. And it's just problematic, right? So what will they do to change the invasion mechanics? What will they do to change the actual PvE side of the mechanics? Because running around shooting ads and collecting motes is kind of boring and lame, especially in 2025. We could definitely be doing more. We could make the mechanics a lot more intricate, obviously. And will these changes actually save this playlist and build up its loyal fan base? Or will the PR of Bungie actually investing developmental effort into Gambit when everyone else is hating on every facet of the game right now? Will that be the kill shot for Bungie? Only time will tell. I'm very curious to see what they do with this. I wanted to bring you a video talking about this because this has become top trending news on Reddit. A lot of people are heavily criticizing the Iron Banner hiatus because honestly, it's just ridiculous to take it away and bring it back with just one new gun. Seemed absurd and pointless. I understand that Bungie needs time to integrate all of the old things in Destiny 2 into the new portal system, but I think they unintentionally raised our expectations to a level where it shouldn't have been. And even still, the delivery of just one new weapon is pretty ridiculous, right? We could have done better than that, Bungie. One new weapon and it has bug stats? Come on. Gambit needs to do better. Gambit, if you are even going to re-deliver this during Edge of Fate, which you've already promised that you're going to do this, like you have to do this now. Like, you can't stop at this point. Even though this does feel like a literal dumpster fire waiting to explode, this is going to happen. Gambit is going to be reintroduced and announced and hyped up by Bungie. And I pray for the devs that this actually delivers something somewhat interesting with the mechanics. Please, Bungie needs this, actually, truly. If this Gambit rework sucks, I truly think that we should, as a community, collectively take this playlist and just hurl it into the DCV. Because if they put more time and effort into this playlist and less into the core playlists that are actually building the game up, I think this is problematic in the long run. But let me know what you think about it down in the comment section below. How do you feel about the current Iron Banner rework that just arrived in Destiny 2 now that we've had a full week to sink our teeth into it and play it? And how do you feel about the upcoming Gambit rework that's happening? Lastly, if you haven't yet, make sure you go try Gambit on Destiny Rising, because Gambit on Destiny Rising is actually pretty sick. And I feel like there's a potential crossover between the two, because if you play Gambit on Destiny Rising, instead it's 18 people enter the lobby and you're all on one gigantic map fighting against each other. At any point in time, you can like run into each other while you're clearing the ads. If you die, you only lose like half your motes. You can go attack a boss together, like you can shoot a boss together, or you can fight against each other. Gambit inside Destiny Rising is actually pretty good, which is crazy for me to say. I can't even believe I'm saying these words, but it actually is pretty good in Destiny Rising. Maybe Bungie can take some of those positive Gambit vibes from Destiny Rising and integrate them into Destiny 2. Only time will tell.